Please welcome Vice Chairman, President, and COO Salesforce, Keith Block.
Well, good morning to Boston. How's everybody doing? Well, this crew, like the Murphys over here, I'm not so sure about this crew. Good morning. Oh, that was really weak. Let's try this again. Good morning. Good morning. Are the MVPs are over here, aren't they? Well, I'm not going to recognize you yet. I just wanted to know. This is quick. Good morning, Boston. All right, how about a special thank you to our Salesforce house band, the Dropkick Murphys. They're unbelievable, huh? They actually snuck that song in. I did not know that they were going to do that. That was really cool. Now you know more about me than you'll ever care to know. That I grew up as a punk person. Look at me now. You can see that I'm still a punk. That's what my kids tell me. Anyway, welcome to the World Tour here in Boston. We're thrilled to be here with you. Over the next 90 minutes, we're going to spend some time talking a little bit about Salesforce. We'll give you an update on Salesforce, which I think you'll find very, very compelling. We are going to spend some time talking about our customers, most importantly, and our customer success and some great customer stories. We're going to give you an update on the world of artificial intelligence and Einstein, which I think everybody is very, very excited about. But we are going to talk a lot about you in the audience, those of you who are watching online, and all the cool things that are going on in the world. Now, you may be looking around, for those of you who have been to a world tour here in Boston, my hometown. I don't know how many of you are hometown Boston people. Let's give you a round of applause. And you're looking around and you're looking at this motif and you're saying, you know, this is unlike any other world tour that I've been to in Boston or any other city. It's kind of cool, it's kind of campy, it looks a little bit different. Has anybody noticed a difference in the motif here? Yeah? It feels a little bit like a national park. It's not the Boston Public Garden or the Common, but it feels like a national park, right? Well, Salesforce draws its inspiration from a lot of different places. We get inspiration from our employees, we get a lot of inspiration from our partners, we get inspiration from our unbelievable customers represented here in the audience and in the monster seats up here. It's really cool to actually have monster seats. It's very nice. And we get inspiration from a lot of different places, but we also get inspiration from our national parks. And we love the spirit of the national park. You think about a national park, you walk through a national park, and you think about the freedom, you think about the openness, you think about walking on a trail and taking a journey and opening up your mind and thinking differently about the world and breathing the beautiful air in downtown Boston. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this national park thing is all about. And so we've adopted this as part of our branding and our messaging because we want to bring to the whole community, our Salesforce Ohana, our entire ecosystem, this concept of the national park and blazing trails. And you can see on these screens, and we have actually people in the audience who are wearing these really cool Trailblazer hoodies. And in New England, we love a good hoodie, don't we? All right, you know what I'm talking about. You know, we see people who are wearing these things called Trailblazer. I'm like, well, what's a Trailblazer? What does that mean? Well, a Trailblazer is a pioneer. It is a forward thinker. It is somebody who inspires, who thinks differently, who takes a first mover's advantage, who talks to the entire community and blazes a trail. And we have a room full of Trailblazers here today. And we're going to spend some time talking about what it means to be a trailblazer, because a trailblazer transforms. They transform an industry. They transform an organization or corporation. And by the way, they transform themselves. And there's some amazing stories of people who have transformed themselves because they have become trailblazers, which is really, really cool. Now, true to form, probably the most important thing that I from Salesforce or anybody from Salesforce can say is thank you. Thank you to our customers, thank you to our partners, our employees for inspiring us, for everything that you have done for us. Please give yourselves a round of applause. Now, there are some incredible people, and I want to recognize a group of people that have contributed so much to who Salesforce is over the last 18 years. They've done a terrific job. They are our inspiration. They are our MVPs. They are here in the room. We've actually got MVPs from Toronto and France and San Francisco, and I don't know from where else, but they follow us everywhere, and they're sitting right over here. Can we recognize our MVPs? Please stand up, our MVPs. Come on, MVPs, stand up. Oh, just a few and some shy ones. And I wanted to give a special shout out to my favorite MVP, Steve Mullis, but I don't know if Steve is in the room, but if Steve were in the room, we should give him a round of applause. There's Stevie Mo. Round of applause for Steve Mullis. So thank you so much for everything that you do. And you know, when you look around this room and you think about this whole idea and the concept of the national parks and being a trailblazer, you know, it feels like a family reunion. It's campy. You know, you can see on the screen we've got the Murphys playing around the campfire. It's kind of cool. That's our version of the Murphys anyway. And you think about the trailblazers. You know, it's our partner ecosystem. It's our MVPs. It's our success community. It's our user groups. It's everybody who tries so hard and dedicates themselves to build out this world of Salesforce. And so we just want to say welcome home to the Trailblazers. We're trying to make this a family reunion. You know, we do this once or twice a year. It feels like we should be doing this every quarter, maybe every week. We should be spending more time together, but it is a great thing. And so welcome home to all of you in the audience who are Trailblazers. Really appreciate you being here with us today. Now, because of you, we have had 18 years of incredible success. Not just Salesforce, but all of us in the Salesforce community. And today, we are proud to say they are the fastest growing top 5 enterprise software company in the world. We've been recognized as an innovator of the decade. This is all because of you. I mean, we love this. We roll around in this. We're super proud of this. But we know that this is because of you, our customers, who inspire us every day. And our financial results have been astounding. Last year, we finished at $8.4 billion in revenue. We've guided recently over the last 2 weeks in our earnings call, if you listen to our earnings call, to be at over $10 billion company. And we're not stopping at $10 billion. We have turned the corner, and we're going straight to $20 billion. And that is because of you. And in our Q1, which we disclosed the results on our earnings call just a couple weeks ago, we did over $2.4 billion in revenue. And if you look at this chart, you'll see that just in FY12, here we are in the first quarter, or finishing the first quarter of FY18, we did more revenue in the first quarter than we did back in FY12 at $2.3 billion, which is astounding. It's astounding progress, it's astounding success, and it's not just numbers. It's a measure of success to everybody in this room. And we really, really appreciate everything that you've done. And it's kind of interesting when you think about the enterprise software market and you think about what's happening. You know, 18 years ago when this company was formed, we created an industry. When Mark Benioff and Parker Harris created Salesforce, they created an industry. It was CRM in the cloud. It was the enterprise cloud. It was the first enterprise cloud. I would argue it's the only enterprise cloud. But we created an industry. And you could think about the 4 categories of enterprise software that we have today. Right? We have operating systems. Some of us kind of coded in and around operating systems. I'm probably dating myself. I'm not going to ask anybody in the audience if they've done the same thing. I won't embarrass you. But in the beginning of time, there was the operating system. Okay? And then there was something called ERP, and then there was something called DBMS, Database Management System. For those of you who don't know that, I'm sure you do. It's something I know a little bit about from my past. And then, of course, CRM. This is the category that we really, really created in the cloud. Now, this is a study that was done by Gartner that says that by 2021, CRM is going to be the fastest growing enterprise software category. It's staggering at almost 14% of compounded growth, annual growth, compounded annual growth. So 18 years ago, we created this market, and now we are making this market because of you. Now, if you look at our last fiscal year results, if you look at our Q1 results, you would notice that we as a company are actually growing at almost twice the rate of the fastest growing category of the largest category in enterprise software. It's staggering. We are taking market share, we are making a market, and we are creating separation in that market. And again, it's not just because we have good people, we have great people, but we have outstanding customers, we have outstanding partners, and again, you inspire us. And it manifests itself in these amazing financial results. But more importantly, it's about who we are as a company and what our values are. And we take our values very, very seriously in this company. We have a very, very strong culture. All of you are familiar with us, all of you trailblazers in the audience, you know who we are, you understand what we're made of, you know how we think, and you know that our 26,000 employees wake up every single day and we walk the walk and talk the talk around our core values. And we have 4 very strong tenets, 4 key pillars that are so important to us and so important to our Salesforce family. And the first one, no surprise, is trust. Trust is so important, whether it's personal trust with your employees, whether it's professional trust that we have with our partners or who we have with the companies that we do business with. We run the world's most trusted enterprise cloud. Without trust, We have nothing. It is so important. It is our number one value, and we take it incredibly seriously. Trust is everything. Growth. Yes, we've had staggering results. Yes, you've seen these results. They're unbelievable. It's fantastic. We're super proud of it, as I said before. And we love growth. But it's not just about the financial results. It's what the growth represents. The growth represents opportunity. Opportunity for everybody in this room, everybody in the entire ecosystem. That's what growth represents. And our whole message is about growth. Everything that we do is about growth. If you think about the CEOs of the world, whether it's a large company, whether it's a small company, whether it's international, domestic, it doesn't matter. The agenda of every CEO in the world is growth. And our message, our promise is about growth. And that's why we align so well with this incredible ecosystem, this community. Innovation. This is cellular for us. This is part of our DNA. This is who we are. We are inspired by our employees. We are inspired by our partners. We are inspired by our customers to bring innovation so you can drive success for your companies, for your personal selves, and for your customers. That's what innovation does. And 3 times a year, we bring you incredible features and innovation, thousands of features and functions. And some of those ideas come from us, but most of those ideas actually come from you. And so we thank you for innovation and inspiring and giving us these great ideas so we can help and drive your success. And then there's something called equality, which I think is very, very important to everybody in this room and everybody watching. There's a lot of debate about the age of equality. And what does the age of equality mean? Are we in the age of the equality? Are we on the cusp of the age of equality? Well, at Salesforce, we'd like to think that we are shepherding our community through the age of equality and that we are creating a path together. And we have invested, we've given emotional capital and financial capital, sweat equity to make sure that we can drive results in this age of equality and open up people's minds. And it's amazing that we have to do this collectively, that we as a people, that we actually have to do this, that we have to really push hard at this. But our job here is never done. It is never done. And some great examples, education. We give over $22 million a year through organizations, K through 12 education organizations, because we want to make sure that education is done well. Because education, in my personal opinion, solves all the world's problems, okay? And I want to recognize a special group of people who are with us. This is a school that we've adopted, the Timilty School from Roxbury, Massachusetts. They're up here. How about a shout out to the Timilty kids? Now, I had lunch with these folks yesterday. They're great kids, and Karen Hines, who's their teacher, is awesome. Great shout out to Karen Hines. She's unbelievable. She's huge inspiration to these kids. And they have built a lemonade app on the Salesforce platform. So if you go to the campground afterwards and you want some lemonade, they will sell you, sort of. We talked about this, you capitalists, you. We talked about this lemonade app, and they're going to be tracking how much lemonade you're drinking. So drink a lot of lemonade, please. Anyway, the Timilty School is awesome, and just an example of what's happening when you invest in these kids' times, and you invest in their future, and you invest in education. And of course, there's equality for all. My wife and I have 5 children, and we have 3 older boys and 2 younger girls. And it is amazing to me when I think about this. I get incredibly fired up because I can't believe that anybody would ever think that the youngest 2 daughters would not have the same opportunity as their older 3 brothers. That is a non-starter for me. And I think it's a non-starter for everybody in the room. There are many parents in this room. And we will continue to fight and do everything that we possibly can to make sure that we have a world of equality. And we have put our money where our mouth is. The last 2 years, we've adjusted pay to make sure that we have equal pay between men and women. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't understand why women would not be paid the same as men. It makes no sense to me. Am I right? Unbelievable. So we're going to keep fighting this. We're going to keep adjusting this. It's something that we take very seriously. We're going to do it every single day, and we want to make sure that you're doing it with us as well. And of course, we have taken some very, very strong positions on anti-gay legislation, as you know, in Georgia and Indianapolis, in Indiana, the state of Indiana, because you know what? We want to protect our employees. We want our employees to work in a safe place and feel comfortable, and we've taken some very, very strong positions on that. And of course, the environment. Many of you are parents, and you want your children to grow up in a place that is clean, a place that is safe, where they don't have to worry about their environment, where they can breathe the air. And I'm pleased to tell you that Salesforce's cloud has now achieved net zero emissions, which means we have a carbon neutral cloud. So if you want to save the environment, buy more of our software. And of course, I think everybody knows us for this, which is philanthropy. I mean, when the company was started, we created this 1-1-1 model, which is phenomenal. It has inspired thousands of companies since. We give 1% of our time, which is over 2 million hours of volunteerism, which is fantastic. Over 1% of our equity goes to organizations who are doing great deeds in the community, which is really cool. That's over $160 million worth of grants, folks, which is pretty astounding. That's all to benefit these great organizations. And of course, 1% of our product. 1% of our product goes to these nonprofits who are doing great work in the community. And I want to give a special shout out to one that is near and dear to me that I participate in. It's called the Boston Partners in Education. The CEO is Pamela Sivens. I don't know if Pamela's in the house, but if we could give them a round of applause, it would be awesome. But the Boston Partners in Education is a group, and these people, they give their heart, they give their soul to making sure that the Boston Public Schools become a better place, a safer place, and a great place for education for our kids. So everybody has their own personal philanthropy. You can do whatever you want. We encourage you to do it. But I love the Boston Partners in Education. So that is the social world that we live in. I think we're all familiar with this. Well, now let's move into a little bit of technology, shall we? Well, there's this thing that you may have heard of. It's called the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Now, this is a phrase that was kind of pioneered or coined at the World Economic Forum, and every year I get the opportunity to trek up to Davos with a couple of other execs from Salesforce, and we get to meet with the world's leaders, and we talk about really cool things about how making the world a better place, and the business of business is about investing in our future, and not just about financial results and all that good stuff, but what does technology mean? And there's been a lot of discussion about this Industrial Revolution 4.0, and what does this mean? Because we live in this world that is smarter. We live in this world that is wildly connected. I mean, if you think about it, walk down memory lane here, folks. We had the mainframe. And there are hundreds of thousands of mainframes. I mean, they're still out there, and they're still manufactured, and people still buy them. But that was kind of the beginning of all this. And then, we moved to the PC world and the client-server world, and there were 10 million of those. And then, whoa, 18 years ago, Mark Benioff falls out of bed, and he said, hey, we should do this enterprise cloud thing. What's the cloud? And the cloud is born, which is really cool. And it changed the game for everything. And since that, over the last 18 years, really in the last, I would say, 7 years, there has been an explosion of technology, of cloud, of mobile, of social, of IoT, and now artificial intelligence, which we're going to talk about today. But actually, everybody's talking about artificial intelligence. And what does all of this technology mean as it is brought together? It is an explosion. It is a perfect storm. It is a conversion of technologies that is creating a wave of innovation unlike anything that we've ever seen. In fact, I would argue we may never see this again. This is incredible technology coming together, and companies are being born overnight. Companies are being disrupted. New business models are being established. You think about a company like Amazon. We're going to talk about Amazon today. But Amazon completely reinvented retail, leveraging these technologies. You think about a company like Uber, who is leveraging all these technologies, and they're not in the taxi service. They're in the transportation and logistics business. We're going to hear about Farmers Insurance today and how Farmers is leveraging all this really cool stuff, all this great technology, and they're reinventing insurance. The game has changed. It is a disrupt or be disrupted world. And the barrier to disruption has never been lower, and the opportunity to innovate in this world with these technologies, it has never been higher. Not a single industry is immune to this. It is a wonderful opportunity for all of us to reinvent, to rethink, to reimagine, to co-inspire together. That's the promise of what all this technology means in this fourth industrial revolution. It is unbelievable what we're living in, because this is what we call the age of the customer, right? Where you can connect your customers in entirely new ways. This is what Salesforce brings. This is the promise of what Salesforce brings from a technology perspective. The walls of sales, service, marketing, they're getting blown apart. It's all coming down, folks. We all are realizing all this technology and the single view of the customer. This is what your customers are crying out for. And there are so many examples of great work that is being done here. I mean, you can think about the promise of actionable analytics powered by artificial intelligence. You can think about the amazing things that companies like Coca-Cola are doing with mobile applications and smart applications around supply chain management. Or a company like Schneider Electric, which is one of the world's great energy companies, and what they're doing with their connected products and IoT, or guided sales and farmers, which you're going to hear about later. And then there's things like conversational service. which is actually kind of cool. Now, there's this company called Intuit. You may have heard of it. I'm assuming you all did your taxes, right? It's just us. You can just disclose. Is there anybody here who wants to volunteer that they did not do their taxes? Okay, well, if you did your taxes, you may have used TurboTax, which is from Intuit. I think everybody knows about Intuit. And this is a far cry from the world of, when as my children would say, when giant lizards were roaming the earth and I did my taxes on a pencil and a piece of paper. But Intuit, with TurboTax, has a mobile application where you can actually very simply do your taxes on your mobile device. And it's very simple. And if you get stuck, you can hit an SOS button, which is very, very cool. And because of this, a tax consultant can come up. You've probably seen the commercial. Tax consultant comes up and guides you through this, and because of this, Intuit has been able to move through a pace of over 66% closed cases as a result of this amazing technology, and that's all built on Salesforce. And Intuit was so excited when they built this mobile app and they saw the use cases and they saw the volume of usage. They were so excited about this, they actually made a commercial for the Super Bowl. And you know what? I love that commercial. I love the Super Bowl. I assume you love the Super Bowl as well. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we don't have any Atlanta Falcons fans in the audience. But they made a commercial, and we love that commercial. So let's roll that film and show the commercial, okay?
Hello, Mr. Ortiz. Do you have a tax question?
Yeah, I'm teaching tennis on the side now,
Oh, that's nice.
but I'm going through a lot of balls. Can I deduct them?
In your case, yes. You can enter your expenses right here.
Oh, cool.
Hey, David. How are you?
Are you ready for your lesson?
I am.
Just like that.
Oh, okay.
Now, I suspect you know who that person was. And I'm just going to say, as a Red Sox fan, I think we could use him. Am I right? Especially after the last couple nights. Anyway, just one more example. Unified Commerce. There is a company that we acquired just under a year ago. And they're a local company, which is awesome. The company is called Demandware. We now refer to it as Commerce Cloud. They're the #1 e-commerce engine in the cloud. And they do incredible work with customers all over the world, and they do business with a company called Adidas. Or if you're not from the United States, Adidas. I don't care, call it whatever you want. We call it Adidas, you say tomato, I say tomato, it doesn't really matter. But the point is, it's a world-class company. And I think everybody has seen their products, they're amazing products. And what they're doing with Commerce Cloud is something that companies all over the world are doing. They're providing a unified commerce experience for the shopper, for the consumer. The experience that you have online with Adidas is the same as walking into an Adidas store. It's exactly the same. And that's because of this amazing technology that Commerce Cloud brings to the table. And they're not just doing it for Adidas. They're doing it for over 2,000 websites all over the world, over 53 countries. And it's really cool. Dozens and dozens and dozens of examples of companies who are taking advantage of this amazing technology and doing some incredible things. And we're super proud of that acquisition. And you know what? I know we have some Commerce Cloud Demandware people in the room. Can we give them a round of applause and welcome them to the Salesforce family? So we live in this age of the customer, and it's really cool, and we've created all this demand and all this revenue, and everything's really great, and the financial results, and people are super excited. People are jacked and pumped, as Pete Carroll used to say, and we've got this thing called the Salesforce economy. The Salesforce economy. And a lot of things have been written about the Salesforce economy and all the opportunity that the Salesforce economy brings to the table. You know, IDC has done a number of studies. They're a great group of folks, really smart people, and their estimate is that by 2020, there will be a GDP impact in the Salesforce economy of nearly $400 billion. It's pretty amazing. You want to talk about opportunity, $400 billion. Now, just to put that in perspective, that's about the size of the GDP of Hong Kong, the country of Norway, and bigger than the state of New Jersey, FYI, and Massachusetts, I should say. It also means that there will be jobs created. Nearly 2 million jobs will be created in this Salesforce economy by 2020. And interestingly, if you're interested in becoming a Salesforce admin or a Salesforce developer, these are 2 of the top 10 jobs that are hot in the marketplace, right? There is just an incredible demand and huge opportunity created in this Salesforce economy. And we're stepping up to the plate here. And today we're announcing the SI Trailblazer Fund. This is a $50 million fund that we're investing in consulting firms to accelerate their growth, to drive success for their customers. So we're super excited about announcing this fund today. And if you're in the consulting business and you want to accelerate your growth and you want some of this investment, come and talk to us. We have a Salesforce Ventures Fund. We're happy to invest in your firm so that you can continue to drive results for your customers. And of course, a few weeks ago at the Salesforce World Tour, we announced the Platform Fund, $100 million to invest in our ISV partners to drive success in new solutions, horizontal solutions, vertical solutions, all on our Salesforce platform to drive success for our customers. Last weekend in Indianapolis, we announced that we were going to be creating 500 apprenticeships for Indiana, all associated with the Salesforce economy. This is part of a larger program that Mark Benioff pioneered when he went down to the White House and he had a conversation about a moonshot. Let's create 5 million apprenticeships in the world for people all around creating great jobs. Of course, Salesforce is going to contribute significantly to that, and we're super excited about it. And we will do thousands and thousands of these apprenticeships. And as a matter of fact, the person who is in charge of our apprenticeship program is here today. I want to introduce you very quickly to her. Monica Langley, could you please stand up and be recognized? How about a round of applause for Monica? She's in charge of our apprenticeship program. And Monica has recently joined us. She spent a long time at the Wall Street Journal writing about all of you, and she's taking notes, but she is our EVP of Global Strategic Affairs, and we're thrilled that she's with us here today. So here we are, just to paint the picture, we've got this incredible Salesforce economy inspired by you, for you. You are the benefactor. You are the ones who get to participate and join this. And you can ask yourself, wow, there's all this opportunity, there's all this momentum in the marketplace, there's tons of transformation going on. What do we do? How do we get involved? You know, how do we make this thing a reality? Well, the answer is Trailhead, okay? We have our Trailhead theme, we have our Trailhead Park, our national park. You can see some beautiful signs. Intuit is a trailblazer, and Design Within Reach is a trailblazer as I go around the room and I look at these amazing signs. But Trailhead is your path into this Salesforce economy. This is your way forward. Okay, this is an incredible partnership that we've established with our Salesforce Ohana, our family, everybody in our ecosystem. It is an amazing learning platform. It is an opportunity to learn. It's fun, it's free, that's not a bad thing. It's easy, and all you need to do to get started is just go to trailhead.com. And you can enhance your technical skills, you can learn business skills, you can make some fun out of this with badges and competitions and points and all cool stuff, but it basically is your personal learning journey. Trailhead is your personal learning journey. It is your path forward. And we're with you all the way. And there are some unbelievable stories here, I will tell you, of people who have changed their life because they have become trailblazers. And it's a really cool story. Now, there's a gentleman here, he's not here today, but he's actually from St. Louis. And this is kind of an interesting story. I heard this story and I was like, wow, this is unbelievable, because I know there's a lot of these different stories. But his name is Zach Otero. Now, Zach never finished high school. He actually had to drop out of high school to support his family. And he was working in St. Louis in a meat packing plant, okay? A meat packing manufacturing plant, if you can believe this. And he was working in a controlled room 200 feet under the earth, under the ground, okay? In a controlled room. Think about that. I all want you to go there right now. I want you to imagine that you are 200 feet below and you're in a controlled room slicing deli meat. Okay, this is what this guy was living with, and he's trying to support a family, and it actually had a baby on the way. This is a true story. I'm not making this up. And he gets the letter that everybody gets, unfortunately, and anybody who's involved in manufacturing. And the letter says the plant is closing down in 60 days. And he's like, I got to provide for my family. I've got a kid on the way. What am I going to do? Oh my gosh, Now, a lot of people have responded very differently to that. Some people would have been, it's kind of a kick in the teeth, and you would have been on the mat, and you never would have gotten up. But he picked himself up. He demonstrated personal leadership, and he came to Salesforce, and he became a trailblazer. And in 4 months, he became a certified admin. And now he has got an amazing job with a healthy family, and he's got a brand new lease on life and a career in a consulting firm in the Midwest. And this is a true story. It's a great story. And I'm telling you, there are thousands of people, some of which are in this room perhaps, who have been affected by this because they've learned this technology, they've embraced this technology, and they've moved forward. I love your Red Sox jacket, by the way. It's very cool. Now, everybody has the opportunity to become a trailblazer. There's a trailblazer in every row, in almost every seat here. We can all be trailblazers. It's very easy to do. You can learn on Trailhead. You can drive innovation. You can change your career. You can transform an industry. You can transform a company. You can transform yourself. We have over 300,000 of these trailblazers today, and we're asking you to join us and become a trailblazer. And that is our ask, and we hope that you answer and say yes, okay? Now, we have got a great day packed for you. I know that you're going to learn a lot. You're going to have a lot of fun. And I hope you've enjoyed this session. So I appreciate everything that you are doing. We love what you are doing as our community. And I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you.